Happy greetings guys, this is Muskan Chitlangia from IICS and lots of lovely wishes from me. So today I'm really excited for this podcast as we're going to get some unspoken answers of some amazing questions. Questions that we ask from ourselves but sometimes fail to get the answer. So the main reason of my excitement is that we are going to get these answers from none other than Sir SHRIKANT Gupta. SHRIKANT sir is founder of Inspirational Institute of Communication Skills and he is life and development skill coach. SHRIKANT sir has transformed lives of many students coming from different backgrounds. I remember when I first came to IICS and now that change, that personality transformation in me is incredible. So here we go ahead with the session. Sir, first of all, thank you so much for this lovely opportunity and it is going to be great to interact with you. So firstly I want to ask you that people say that I promise you or I commit you something. What is exactly the difference between promise and commitment?
This is one of the most important questions. I would like to appreciate you for the question, Muskan, that you have asked me. The people sometimes say I promise you and sometimes say I have a commitment. So the beautiful difference between promise and commitment is the promise, the agreement which you have with the world. And the commitment is when you have the agreement with yourself. The words which you give to the world is your promise and the words which you give to yourself is a commitment. And commitment is more powerful than promise. Now I would like to further add into it. You will be surprised. The moment you break the promise, you fall into the world's eyes. And the moment you break the commitment which you make to yourself, you fall in your own eyes. And to fall in your own eyes is more dangerous to fall in the world's eyes. So it is very important to maintain both. The moment you make a promise, you should follow. The moment you make a commitment to yourself, you should follow. Now, would like to add one more thing into it. The moment you uphold any commitment which you make to yourself, is the moment you develop your self-esteem, you develop your confidence, you develop your self-belief. Every commitment we uphold is the painting, is the stroke in the painting called self-belief. And that makes our life amazing, outstanding and fearless. Every commitment which we break is the moment we fall into our own eyes. And every time we fall into our own eyes, we lose our confidence, we lose our self-belief, and that is a scratch in the painting called self-belief that makes our life awful and you can say doubtful. So this is very important and this is the major difference I would like to tell you about promise and commitment.
Sir, this was really amazing and out of the way answer. This is definitely going to change people's lives. So next I'm going to ask that what is exactly the difference between activity and productivity?
Muskan, whatever we do is an action. An action either gives us activity or a productivity. Every action is called either as an activity or productivity. So the action without direction is an activity. An action with direction is called productivity. If you are taking an action and you have the direction where you have to go, it means at the end of the day you will have an outcome of it, and that is called productivity. If you are taking an action but you don't know the direction and you don't know the purpose of that action, you don't have clarity of that action, so that action at the end will turn into an activity. And remember, productivity gives you power. Productivity gives you vision. Productivity gives you passion. Productivity gives you satisfaction. Productivity gives you the next level of your life, while activity leads nowhere.
Wow, sir. This will be going to be my one motive, that to convert my activity into productivity. Now, next I want to ask you that people say, I also believe that everything is going to be possible if you have positive thinking. What is your opinion? Will you like to emphasize on this?
Muskan, we have been hearing for years together that everything is possible with positive thinking. Do you believe in it?
Yes, sir.
But it's not true at all. Positive thinking with action increases the probability of your success. So thinking doesn't work alone without action. So if you want your thinking should turn into in reality, you would have to take an action. Would like to ask you one question. Like if you are feeling thirsty, and you keep saying, okay, I'm drinking water, my thirst is being quenched, will it automatically be quenched? No. So you would have to just pick the glass of water to drink it. In the same time, whatever you want to accomplish, it has come into your thought process. It won't work until you take an action. And that's the reason that 90% of the people, they don't take action in their life. They just procrastinate. Only 10% people, they take action on their thinking that turns into reality, and that's why we call them personality, and rest are formality. So positive thinking with action is important than only having positive thinking.
So this is going to be a beautiful message for people who think that they can do everything with thinking and not with action. So mathematically, thinking minus action is going to be nothing.
That's great.
My next question will be, sir, this is personally, I feel that sometimes I want to discuss, but I go into an argument. So what is the difference between argument and discussion?
Wow, Muskan, what kind of questions that you are asking. I would love to appreciate you. From where are you getting these questions? These are the questions that often people ask me, those who are extremely intellect and thoughtful. A beautiful question, I will tell you. All the fights, all the conflicts will be resolved if the people understand what is the difference between argument and discussion. In argument, we always prove who is right or who is wrong. But in discussion, we always emphasize on what is right or what is wrong. So the moment you try to prove who is wrong, who is right, it's an endless conversation and there's no conclusion. And that's why this is called argument. And in discussion, we focus on what is right, what is wrong. It's not about person, it's about the process. So argument focuses on person while the discussion focuses on process. So the moment you make the process right, the person will become right. So we must always criticize the process, not the person. And the moment you understand, or anybody who is watching this video understand it, that the moment we emphasize on the process or not the person, many problems will be solved. Management problems will be solved. Home problems will be solved. Relationship will be solved. And we will have a harmony in the system, in the society, in the community, in the country, in the world.
Sir, this is a great lesson for people who be a part of argument and not of discussion. So sir, one question is in my mind, and it is the need of this hour, that the loss and the failure people have gone through during this lockdown, how can they recover and how can they repair through that?
Muskan, this is one of the most important questions you have asked. It is really need of an hour. First of all, before I answer this question, I would like to say that this is the time where the entire humanity should come together to help each other. This is the time that we must heal each other. This is the time we must be the hope builder for those who have lost their hope. Now we'll come to the answer. This is my message. Really guys, those who are listening to us, watching us, this is the time to connect the world together. This is the time to give really at least the rays of hope, the spirit to those who have just lost in their spirit, in their energy, so they could bounce back to live a beautiful life. So now I would like to answer to this. First of all, this is the message for those who really are suffering from the failure or the loss of job or the loss of business, whatever the situation is. First of all, I will say that there is no failure. It's always a feedback. Remember, those who are watching, and Muskan, you too, that there's never a failure. It's always a feedback. And the moment we come out with that failure as a feedback, we have a fantastic maturity to lead in a better way. Thomas Alva Edison, we have been listening since our childhood that he failed thousands of times. But he said that it is not my failure. I have found thousands of ways through which the bulb cannot be manufactured. So there are different stories, but these are not failure stories. This was struggle turned into success later on. So those who are suffering from such phase would love to pray first God, give them the strength, the creativity, the energy, the power, the passion, the progress and the productivity so they could bounce back. Because sometimes the decisions are in His hands. And second, they should not lose their spirit. The more failure comes, the more struggle comes, the more pain comes, that is to build up a better, stronger, higher, greater, outstanding individual in terms of success, in terms of health, in terms of happiness, in terms of prosperity. And further would like to advise and suggest that this is the peak time, this is the most important time to focus on big fives. One is health. We must start exercise, we must start our day with exercise to be healthy, because healthy mind will have great spirit to bounce back. Second, never give up, keep thinking of how can I go up. So the give up thought should turn into go up thought. This is the second I will suggest. Third, keep on thinking the new ideas, because this is the time to develop the ideas. This is the time to implement the ideas, because this is the perfect. This is the time of not an obstacle. The fourth is see the opportunity in this obstacle. This is not the time for obstacles. This is the time for opportunities to create. This is the time for not thinking of crisis. This is the time to create something so we could come out of it. And the fifth, again I would love to say, very important, take or keep doing. Keep taking an action, because action will bring the fruitful celebration in terms of result. So this is the message, and I will appreciate again you for this question, because this was the question that is needed today. And those who are listening to us, guys, please connect with our vibrations, connect with our feelings and emotions, that somehow this is the need of an hour that you told clearly. I really appreciate.
Sir, this was incredible way of thinking. I think when people will listen you, this is going to give them much more boost and clarity they need for life. So next I want to ask you, in this COVID and lockdown, thousands of speakers have come out with their fundas, with their mantra of success. What according to you is success?
Muskan, success is as personal as toothbrush. My definition of success will be totally different than your definition of success, because you are an aspirant doctor. You are going to be a doctor in future. Then the way you accomplish the doctorate degree, or the way you became doctor, somebody asked you, you will give the different definition of success. Agree or not?
Yes, sir.
If you ask any successful person who is on the top of success and ask them what's the definition of success, everybody will have a different definition of success. So success is as personal as toothbrush. I always say this. But the question is very great, so would like to give a unanimous acceptable definition of success, and the success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. This is very important definition, was accepted by all the greatest personalities in the world, that success is a progressive realization of a worthy goal. There are four most important words are in it. The first is progressive. The success should be progressive. It means your today must be better than your yesterday, and you must strive hard to turn your today's progress into tomorrow's growth. So this is the first definition that we will talk about. So progressive, success must be progressive. Progressive means that your today should be better than your yesterday, or your today should be more growth oriented than your yesterday, and you must strive hard for making your today so productive so your tomorrow could be greater than today. This is the first, that is called progressive. If you are at the same place today, tomorrow, next day, next month or year, it means you are not towards the journey, because success is a journey and you have to keep moving. You have to keep going ahead. So this is called progressive. Second is realization. You must realize your journey of progress and you must be clear about where exactly you have to reach. So keep moving, and the moment you reach there, you again come to the next goal. That is called realization. So progressive realization of a worthy goal. So success is totally connected with your goal, but the condition is that goal should be worthy. The goal should be constructive. The goal should be where you are getting benefited and at the same time society is getting benefited. People around you are getting benefited. You are playing a role of a contributor. It means you have a worthy goal. So progressive realization of a worthy goal. And remember, success is not a destination, it is a journey.
Wow, this was indeed an enlightened conversation. And guys, if you really want to transform, join Shrikant sir and live the life of your dreams. Thank you, sir.